Welcome back. It's another Lifestyle Indy TV, and I'm Paul Poteet.
I'm Julie Patterson, and we're glad you're with us for the show.
We're going to go to the Children's Museum, Julie.
I love the Children's Museum. It's such a great place to take grandkids or your kids or anybody, guests, visitors to Indy.
It's funny, you start out taking your kids, and then you end up, someday you're taking your grandkids.
That's right, I know, but it's that good, and it's always something different to see, and lots of great exhibits.
It's legendary. Okay, we've got a profile of someone who's legendary in mornings in Indianapolis. She's been at it a while, a familiar face that you'll get to meet a little more closely this week.
And she hasn't aged a day. Angela Cano, wait till you learn more about her.
We need to find that pod that you stay in for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there must be something that can be done. Maybe if we just eat the right foods? Is that what it takes?
Maybe, and maybe if you like zucchini, we've got a new recipe for you tonight. Mary's going to pickle some.
Maybe she could pickle me, and then I would be more preserved.
You could just eat some preservatives. There's a lot of food that has that in it. You could do that.
The Business of Indiana is also on this show, and we're going to meet the Secretary of Commerce.
Yes, he's in charge of bringing business to Indiana.
Okay.
Jim Schellinger is his name.
And our business is bringing you all these stories. You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's
do it.
It's Lifestyle Indy TV.
Lifestyle Indy is made possible with support from Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match customer-specific needs and style. Additional funding is provided by Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt attorneys, serving clients throughout Central Indiana with wills, trusts, and estates, with over 70 years of combined experience.
Paul, there are so many different kinds of secretaries in this world.
Yes, there are administrative assistants.
Yeah, they have many names. Some of them really have big jobs, like the Secretary of Commerce for Indiana.
That's a big business that he's watching over. His business is all the business.
Right, bringing business to our great state, right?
So let's see what kind of business he can bring us.
Well, his name is Jim Schellinger, and you're going to meet him on tonight's show.
Ka-ching.
Hi, I'm here with Jim Schellinger from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Jim, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Glenn, for taking interest in us.
Talk to us a little bit about how you became the Secretary of Commerce, and what is the Secretary of Commerce?
Well, it's interesting. The Secretary of Commerce of the state of Indiana is the person in charge of economic development for the state of Indiana worldwide. So not only Indiana and 92 counties, but also the other 49 and internationally. I was asked to originally join the Indiana Economic Development Corporation by Mike Pence, Governor Pence, when I was on the board. He asked if I'd take an 18-month leave of absence from my architectural firm, and I did, with all intentions of going back. But I'm still here now as Secretary and CEO, not just President. And we are a public-private partnership that can respond at the speed of business for companies to incentivize them with our state incentives. And we are a public-private partnership reporting to a 15-person private board chaired by Governor Holcomb.
And so Governor Holcomb asked you to stay on then? Is that what happened?
Governor Holcomb asked me to stay on, and I gave it some thought. He's a very, very special guy.
Yes.
I was just talking about him with someone last night. I have not met a person quite like this except my brother John, my late brother John, who is dear to me. But Governor Holcomb is very much like him. And you'll be able to relate to this, because the thoughts that went through my mind on December 1st when he asked me to do this in 2016 is I was reminded of a good friend, Coach Joe Bill, who said everything he thought about was, does this get me closer to heaven? And this is truly a service job that helps people get jobs, helps them feed their children, educate their children, buy a car, a house, go on a vacation. So what we do is so meaningful to people. And having grown up in a house with 8 kids, I know what it's like to have parents, Bernie Sanders says his parents worked hard to make ends meet. My mom and dad did not work hard to make ends meet. They couldn't. It was mathematically impossible.
Right.
What they did is they worked hard to keep that from the kids. And so for me to be in a position where I can give back and serve the state of Indiana was a big deal for me. Secondly, It was a big deal for me to say if a Republican governor, 2 now in this case, asked me as a Democrat to step out and help them, I think it's a good thing. It symbolizes how we should work together. So it'll be the highest honor of my life and privilege to serve in this position, to serve people of Indiana. But what we're doing at IEDC and what Indiana's doing is remarkable. It's always been the president and the secretary have always been from the private sector, like me, and I'm guessing they always will be, so that they can understand and relate to the businesses that we serve. So if you look at just the statistics, we are the crossroads of America. We have more interstate highways than any place in America. We have 3 international ports that connect to the Atlantic Ocean through the St. Lawrence Seaway up in Lake Michigan. That lake, that fine lake with 45 miles of shoreline. By the way, Glenn, that's shark-free and salt-free water.
Nice.
We connect to the Ohio River, out to the Mississippi, and down to the Gulf. So 3 international ports.
Wow.
We have the 3rd highest use of rail. We have the #1 airport in America. In
Yes.
North America, out there at the Indianapolis Airport. 2nd largest FedEx hub. We have the 2nd lowest workers' comp. Our colleges and universities are amazing, as you know. We have the first person who stepped on the moon.
Right.
Purdue graduate.
Yeah.
The last person to step on the moon. Purdue graduate. The only person to ever successfully land a plane on the Hudson River. Purdue graduate, Sully. So we have so much to offer when it comes to the colleges and universities. Our workforce is world class, and we rank about #1 in almost everything in the Midwest that you would care about. We're #1 in the Midwest for best places to do business, according to Chief Executive Magazine. 5th in the nation. We're #1 in terms of lowest cost of doing business. #2 for our infrastructure. #4 for our regulatory environment. We are the 2nd most affordable state in the country.
Tell me this, what is the Secretary of Commerce's travel schedule like? What are you doing on behalf of all of us? Because it looks like it's a big world, and you've been covering
It's pretty hectic. Last year I was on 21 overseas missions to 18 countries. This year I'll go to 21 countries. And when I go to these countries, and all around our country, all around the states, but when I go internationally, one of the first things I do is meet with companies from that country that have invested in Indiana to say thank you, like Toyota or Subaru or Honda, whom we have 3 OEMs from Japan. No other state has that.
Yes.
We have the only Subaru plant outside of Japan is in Indiana. But I go and meet with them to say thank you. Thank you for investing in Indiana. You had 49 other choices, and you chose us, and we don't take that for granted. We appreciate that. My second question is very simple. What can I do to help you be more successful in Indiana? And then I go meet with Indiana companies like a Lilly or a Hillenbrand or a Zimmer Biomet and say, you're here over here doing business. What can we do to help you here? Because as you're successful here, you're more successful at home. And then I meet with prospects, and I meet with government officials, and just telling our story. And it's interesting how a lot of people outside of the country they don't know about Indiana.
Sure.
And we're one of the best kept secrets. But not anymore. At one time we used to be a flyover state, not anymore. And when people even around the state of Indiana, the 92 counties, when I tell the stories and the facts and the figures, they'll say, I didn't know all that was going on in Indiana, but it's real and it's here. And we should be very proud. It's good times for us right now.
That's great. Well, Jim, your passion for our state and for our country and for your job and the people that work for you and your team has benefited Central Indiana incredibly. And we couldn't be luckier to have a better secretary working for us.
Thank you, and thanks for all you do. But serving Indiana, as I said, is the highest honor of my life.
All right, well, Jim Schellinger, thanks for being with us. This is Glenn Bill for LifeStyle Indy.
It's tough getting up early in the morning and being on TV.
Oh my gosh,
Have
we
you
should
heard?
know.
Have you heard? Yeah.
Oh man,
boy, and
it's
she's
rough.
been-
Year after year after year, day after day. Oh wait,
Yeah, and she's done it a long time.
she's been at Fox 59 for a very long time.
We should say who she is. She's Angela Ganote.
Yeah, she does the 7 to 10 on the morning show, and she's terrific. And
She spent a little time with us. Once she was done with the show, she had her eyes propped open, and I think you'll like what she had to say.
It's your phone?
My phone is all the way
You
off.
sure it's not your watch?
I don't have a watch on.
Let's check. Are you awake right now?
Is something? Are you guys
You are
doing
awake.
something?
Is
to
it
me?
your heart? You got your pacemaker?
My phone is all the way off.
Let me see that thing.
There's no alarm set.
Throw it against the wall. That'll do it. Oh, wait,
It's
no.
not your phone. Oh. I was going to say.
It's the iPad. Timer
I was
done.
like, wait a minute. That's not making noise.
We both sat here and we're trying to figure this out. We were Googling it.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, are you kidding me? How could that be happening?
That's hilarious.
Blonde.
Hey guys, I'm trying not to fangirl today, but
Fangirl,
I am
fangirl.
with Angela Cano. I mean, this is a big time for anybody who lives in
Aw,
Indianapolis.
thank
Fox
you.
59 morning anchor.
It's because I'm old and I've been doing it for
Well,
a
we
while.
all, I mean, we know your face, we know the voice. You get in your routine of the mornings, and you've been doing this.
It's funny that you say that about the voice. I was in Florida a couple years ago, no makeup on, just off the beach, looking rough. Okay, like jeans, short. I mean, it was just a wreck. And all of a sudden, somebody turns around and they said, "Angela Cano?" And I went, "Oh, help me."
With your
Like,
hat.
I recognize your voice. And I went, "Oh no," you know. But they were kind. But it was funny because they said, "I recognize your voice." I'm like, "Yeah, there was nothing about this right now that you would have thought this was me."
But you are a staple in this city. What is it about Indianapolis that it made you want to call this place home for this
it
long
is
and raise your
home.
family
Yeah,
here?
it is
and-
home. So I was born and raised here. Lived in Brownsburg since the time I was 2, and through college went to Indiana University. Graduated Brownsburg High School, went to IU, and made my tour around from Lafayette to South Bend to Columbus, Ohio, and then had the opportunity to come back to Indianapolis. Met my husband, who's from Pennsylvania, in
Wow.
Carmel at the time when we were living. Then, once I got pregnant, we moved back to the house I grew up in. And so my daughter, for the first year of her life, had my room growing up in Brownsburg.
wow.
So it is home. And so we wanted to stay here because my family's here.
And when you look at the way TV is changing and media is changing, I mean, do you feel lucky to be in this role for this long? I mean, when kind of reflecting, what goes through your mind?
I think that obviously I'm blessed to be here, but I believe that we all have a purpose in life, and this is my purpose. There's no question. From the time I was young, I had this strong passion and feeling about right and wrong, justice, and I have always wanted to help give people a voice. That is what I feel like I still do, and I feel like that is the only reason why I still do what I do. It was never, maybe in the beginning it was cool and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on TV, or look at this. That faded pretty quickly when you're in this, and you know, because you've done this for a job. It's not as glamorous as it would appear, and the burden and the heaviness of the amount of people that need help and want help, and you want to help. If somebody feels like they can't get an answer to something, they have something that's hurting them in their life, or something that they need help with, I feel like that is my purpose. I have a big story that I'm working on for 2 years that has not made television yet, and it's part of, this explains it really well, is there is a gentleman that is in prison, and I believe that there's a pretty good chance that he is innocent, and he has been trying to get a DNA test, a rape kit that was taken many years ago that the police lost. It bothers me to my core, and it hurts me, and to have the opportunity to at least maybe find that kit and have it tested to find out if he is telling the truth or not, I feel like that is my job. That is my purpose. Not just a job, but that's what I was made to do.
Some recent studies show an increase in the disorder. Brings a lot of questions for people. The Centers for Disease Control estimating 1 in 59 children in the United States has autism or is on the spectrum.
Wow, I mean, just the real journalism side of what you do. It's a lot of work. What is a normal day like for you?
So it used to be that I get up at 2:30 in the morning, and thank goodness I now have the opportunity to sleep until 4, which is awesome.
yeah.
So like last night we were in Chicago until 9:30 at volleyball. I don't want to miss anything of my kids, so I have the opportunity then to still be able to sleep and then come in, anchor the show from 7 to 10 with Ray and Jim and Britt, and we have a blast and a lot of fun. After the show, typically I'm working on stories. I do a segment on Wednesdays where people will email me, and sometimes they're fun and light, and hey Angela, how do I get help with blank? And I'll get that answer. The deeper dive is what I'm really interested in.
You said you're a huge sports fan. What is your favorite kind of sports activity to do here in Indianapolis? You're a spectator, you go to the games?
I love everything. So I love IU basketball still, even though we've struggled the last few years. I love Pacers. I love me some Victor Oladipo. I mean, Colts fan. But I'll tell you, I am Ashlyn and Brock's fan. When Brock's pitching on the pitching mound, or he's playing third base, he's in the batter's box, or Ashlyn's libero DS on her volleyball team. And
are you the mom just yelling? I mean, are you the mom? Are you the mom? They're like, oh.
Yeah, but it's always positive.
Yes.
It's always positive, but yeah, I am ultra competitive, and I'm a former IU cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, how can I just be, I can't be quiet on the side. I remember the first volleyball game I went to, because we had gone from being softball fans and playing softball, and I coached softball, to being a volleyball fan, and I would watch the parents, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Let's go! So I'm a little bit of a crazy fan.
I love it. We love the crazy. We love your passion. We love
you.
your heart. Thank you so much
you.
for sharing it all with us. For now, I'm Amanda Clark with Lifestyle Indy.
Now, the whole crew is talking about the zucchini and pickles.
Have you ever had one?
I don't know that I have.
I haven't. I mean, I've had pickled cucumber. I assume they're similar only with zucchinis?
I've had pickles and I've had zucchini. Worlds are colliding now.
Not the mashup, though. So.
Yeah, not the mashups.
What do you do with all that zucchini? We're going to find out because Mary is with us on the show.
Rock your zucchini world.
Hi, I'm Mary DeBinion. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be making one of my favorite recipes using one of my favorite vegetables, zucchini. But before we get started with the recipe, I want to tell you a little bit about zucchini and why I actually really like it. Number one, it's available all year round with peak season in the summer. So honestly, you can walk into the grocery store in the middle of December and find zucchini. The other really cool thing about zucchini is that you can use it in so many different ways. You can eat it raw with a relish plate. You can kind of peel it with a vegetable peeler and add it to a salad. But stir fry, saute, grill, bake it. And I used to do, when my kids were little, I used to shred it and sneak it into a couple of little recipes and add some veggies to their day. And they never knew. So that's one of the really cool things about zucchini. But in terms of nutrition, you can't really beat it. It is low fat, it's low sodium, it's low cholesterol, and in about a cup of zucchini, it's only 25 calories. The other really cool thing with zucchini is this really dark green color found in the pigment. That tells you it's high in a certain antioxidant called lutein. And we know that lutein really helps promote eye health, and it actually can reduce our risk for macular degeneration. All right, so those are all the benefits about zucchini and one of the reasons I like it. So the recipe we're going to make today is zucchini pickles. Yep, you heard me, zucchini pickles. They're just every bit as delicious as the cucumber counterpart, but really easy to make. So when you have a lot of zucchini on hand and you're not sure what to do, think about this particular recipe. 3 basic ingredients: zucchini, garlic, and onions. Let's start with our zucchini. Number one, you definitely want to slice it as thin as possible. I like to go as thin as about 1/8 inch slices. So you want about a total of 4 cups of zucchini. Once you have all of that sliced, add it to a glass bowl. So we're kind of going to put it in our bowl. The other thing, we want to add some really thinly sliced sweet onion. I love to use Vidalia onions in this type of recipe. So I've already got them sliced. We're going to add them again to our zucchini. And the last ingredient is garlic. I like to use 3 cloves of garlic, but if you want more or less, this is where you can kind of sort of use your own preference. All right, so we put that all in a glass bowl, and now here comes sort of what I call the sweet sauce. You can use any kind of pickling sort of liquid that you've used for other recipes, but if you're willing to try something a little bit different, I have a sweet and spicy version that I like to pour over these slices of zucchini. We first start with a cup of white vinegar, so add that to your saucepan, followed by half a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of mustard seeds, and then here's where the spice comes in. I've got about 3/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. So again, you can kind of improvise here if you need to use a little bit less. And then we're going to use about 3/4 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to add that. Add that all into your saucepan, stir it up, and bring this to a boil. So once that sugar dissolves, you are ready to pour that liquid over on top of your zucchini onion mixture. Put the lid on, and in the refrigerator it goes for about 24 hours. So it has to chill for about 24 hours. And the next day you have this wonderful concoction of zucchini pickles. And like I said, it's one of my favorite recipes. The crunch, the flavor, I tell you what, there's really nothing like this. I like to put it on a sandwich or eat it just like that. Totally delicious. Hopefully you've enjoyed this recipe and try it with your friends and family. I'm Mary with Lifestyle Indy.
People far and wide know Indianapolis, not just for a racetrack, not just for, Reggie Miller and basketball and all that stuff, for the Children's Museum.
Oh my gosh, we have the finest children's museum in the world.
And there have been a lot of changes to it recently. You know how I know?
How?
Grandkids.
Oh, yes, for sure, grandkids.
So I've heard from the parents and their kids. So for your kids and grandkids, we've got some new information.
We do, and we're going to go out and meet Leslie Olson, And Michael Atwood takes us to the Children's Museum. What is new there? Let's find out.
It was a day not only to discuss Indiana's rich sports heritage, but a day where history itself would be made. Welcome to the Riley Children's Health Sports Legends Experience, the newest addition to the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. It's 7.5 acres of indoor and outdoor sports-related activities that inspire families to be active together.
We want families engaged together and working together and being teammates and not sitting on the sidelines. And it's for all ages, all abilities. We have something for everyone. So we have sports equipment for the little kids, sports equipment for the boomers. And, you know, grandparents love to take their grandkids out, but sometimes they may think they can't keep up or whatever. Right. They can keep up in here, but they need to participate.
Leslie gave us a taste of the Sports Legends experience. No one knew at the time that she would wind up becoming a legend in her own right. As we walk through this, just describe some of what we're seeing here, because there's so much going on.
Well, there
types
is.
Of things. Motorsports.
Motorsports. Over here is a gigantic foosball if you want to play hockey.
Oh, cool.
Like a foosball machine. The kids are having fun with that. And over here, a television station where you can do your own play-by-play and anchor your own sports cast. This is the race car that Willie T. Ribbs raced at the 500. Now we're walking into the National Art Museum of Sport. So over time, we can rotate in and out over 1,000 pieces of paintings, sculptures, prints, all kinds of things related to sports.
You'll discover a wide world of sports here.
A baseball field that looks very much like Victory Field.
Victory Field.
Yes.
One of my favorite places.
Yes. And it's another very interactive opportunity. You know, we see a lot of times the grandparents and parents on the pitching mound. This is the Children's Museum Guild's Fantasy Treehouse of Sports. And it's kind of modeled after the Tree of Life in Disney World.
Okay. It is stunning. Also stunning is miniature golf on a grand scale. We puttered around a course inspired by golf legends Pete and Alice Dye. This unique course replicates some of their favorite hole designs from around the world.
I just love the fact that grandparents are enjoying bringing their grandchildren out here, and they're not too intimidated by this, so they get involved in it, and the kids are, you know, making grandparents like, you are the best people on earth to bring us here and do this with us.
But of course, no Sports Legends experience in the Circle City would be complete without a trip around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Can you hear the sounds of the race cars?
I can.
You feel like you're at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, pagoda, everything. It's a track for adults and kids. You can race. The kids get a bit of a slight advantage, I'll tell you that.
Oh, really?
And, you know, a woman has not yet won the Indianapolis 500.
Maybe today.
But maybe today.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your pedals. We may have the first female winner of the Indianapolis 500. Leslie, since it was such an historic moment, I really don't mind that you beat me at the Indy 500.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations so much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure and an honor, and I feel like I have, you know, upped the game for women at the Indianapolis 500.
I think you have. Where's our milk?
Where is our milk?
We'll get that next.
Okay.
Okay?
Come back and visit.
I will.
Okay.
I'm Michael Atwood.
Another great time.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. Where can we go next time?
Oh, I can't wait to find out. I'm not sure, but.
We call that a tease in the business. You have
Are
to
you
come
sufficiently
by.
teased? You'll have to come back.
You have to come back again.
All right, they
We'll
will.
look for you then. Tell a friend about us too, won't you please?
Yeah, it's Lifestyle Indy.
Yeah, your life.
Your style.
See you then. For all things Lifestyle Indy, just visit our website. That's lifestyleindy.com. It connects this TV show with the radio show and the magazine. We've got useful information for people all over central Indiana. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Pick up LifeStyle Indy magazine at most Kroger stores and libraries. Look for us all over Indy.
Listen to Lifestyle Indy Radio Saturday afternoons at 4:30 p.m. on Freedom 95. Lifestyle Indy Radio. Your life, your style.
Lifestyle Indy is made possible with support from Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match customer-specific needs and style. Additional funding is provided by Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt attorneys, serving clients throughout Central Indiana with wills, trusts, and estates, with over 70 years of combined experience.